Well, a wonderful day, absolutely awesome day.
Beautiful day indeed.
The sun is out. Um, just the other day, it was so gloomy, raining. And oh, by the way, I was driving. Kumkana is our last born, a 13-year-old, to school this morning, and the whole wall has actually collapsed. The road towards school almost closed. Well, I suppose it was closed down because it was cleared. So it was very, very bad weather. Anyway, my name is Mo, and I'm with this wonderful lady over here. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, guys. We've decided to come here and just to have a chat. In actual fact, we're having a chat. I think, is it off air, off screen, off air? And we decided to just bring the chat here. We really want to look back at the last episode, at our last episode
Yeah.
that we did with Andiswa. Thank you so much for your guys' comments. Feedback has been amazing. And yeah, we thought let's just talk about, because one of the things that stood out, I think if I look at the comments, it's really the relationship that Andiswa spoke about with her father. And a lot of people were really on about, oh my gosh, um, that relationship is so beautiful. I wish my dad was still alive. I wish I had the same relationship with my dad. And we thought, let's just come here and really have a conversation about that relationship, the
Yeah.
importance really of having a good relationship between fathers and their daughters.
Yeah.
Because
Even sons.
even sons,
Yeah.
but I think in this particular instance, we specifically zooming into a relationship between a father and a daughter.
Yeah. And one of the things also that, to loosely use the word, triggered me was an update that you made about my mother and the age. I was born to a teenage mother, and she was in her mid-teens. When you see us, you would say it's a brother and a sister.
Yeah.
And in that, I was thinking about my father and his absence, and then we linked it with Anderson's story. um, you know, this whole thing, about fathers and them not being there or there, it's such a huge thing. And as a matter of fact, I personally believe is at the root of a number of issues that we face as a society today.
Yeah.
The kind of husband that I become, uh, who is carrying such traumas, the trauma of an absent father, and coming into a marriage, and I have children, with me having, I wouldn't want to say no models, because we've had models. There's always been father figures. It's such that it's not been your biological father.
Yeah.
But there's no one who sort of has been there for many of us, people like us, who've had a permanent role that a father would play, in your life as you grow up. It has such a big impact in terms of how we husband, in terms of how we father,
Yeah.
in terms of how we boyfriend.
Of course.
It plays such a big and a massive, and with the conversation that we've had with Andy, so I love that girl. We both love that girl, and we thought about the beauty of the relationship that she has had with her dad, and how that relationship anchored her
Yeah.
in who she is today, and in spite of the challenges that she has gone through, in her life, her marriage included.
Yeah.
And I sit and I think, Sweetie Uguti, I wonder how life would have been for her
Yeah.
had she not had a healthy, vibrant, living relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
I sit here and wonder how, and I know what she would say. She would start by laughing at this, but I wonder how life would be, and how
Yeah.
life has turned out for many of us.
Yeah.
Who have found ourselves in the position where our dads were not around, and now we are trying to make life. We're trying to make a living with that trauma, without the influence,
Yeah.
of our fathers in life.
That is so amazing, because just looking back at that interview, I think one of the most beautiful parts was when she said, when I saw people with dads who could speak, I actually
Yes.
thought that is so weird.
Yes.
Why is your dad talking? Aren't dads supposed to be quiet? And I think what also stood out for me was the fact that there was an opportunity there for her to be ashamed of having a father who is not the same as other fathers, as you would call it. Because sometimes when we're different, we always view difference as not being good enough. Because I
yes.
look different, because
Yes.
I'm not the same as my peers, because my dad is not the same as other dads, and therefore there's that thing in human nature that
Yes.
makes you think, oh, then because I'm different, then it means I'm not okay.
Yes.
And I think something amazing there, that she had a father who was deaf, but the relationship was so great, even though the father was deaf.
That was so natural. That was so.
I can imagine that there's people out there, and I think maybe that's why a lot of people related to, or could relate to the episode. It was because a lot of people even saw themselves there.
Yeah.
And I can even say perhaps there are people whose dads are in the same position as Anderson's dad, but they did not cultivate the relationship.
Yeah.
And
yes.
when you look back now, you're thinking, actually, I have a deaf dad myself, but if that did not become something that will unite us, but instead it almost became something that will drift me apart from my dad, because there's an excuse. My dad cannot talk.
But she
Or
took the opposite.
and cannot speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can imagine that it's not an isolated incident.
Yeah.
There are people who have fathers who are deaf, but then for them it almost became a separator, instead of a unifying sort of thing. And I think it was such a blessing, for them, the fact that their father being different brought them it brought them closer together.
Yeah.
Amazing.
One of the striking thing to me on that very point was for her to be so drawn to her dad.
Yes.
That she even uses words like, I wanted to be deaf myself.
Because I wanted to be like him so much.
I wanted to be like him so much. And for me, that really, really, really struck me so deep, because, influence is not loud.
Yeah.
Influence is not on podiums. It doesn't have a microphone. And I suppose that's the I suppose the metaphor of the influence. I'm using them as a metaphor, understand that the influence that a father figure has in a child's life. Generally speaking, it's we all need that silent, quiet, strong, influence of a father. It's got a calming effect. It's got, just the knowledge. I mean, it doesn't have to do anything. just the knowledge that he's around,
Yes.
that in itself is so powerful, that for a lot of dads, and I want to speak to men, for a lot of us, we always feel like we need to prove a point,
Yeah.
by being loud, by making our influence felt, and all of those kind of things. Our influence can be felt, just by us being around,
And
just by us driving a child to school,
yeah.
just by us picking them up, just by us, cleaning up, making the bed, just by us, telling the child you can't go to school without your bed being made, it's very
Your presence,
the
your mere
presence,
presence is just
you know.
yeah.
I look at our last born. Our last born, as I said earlier, is 13, and the way that he relates to both of us is so different. It's so different because with mom, he knows he can get anything that he wants, and I know this is not the standard for other homes. It's the other way around.
You can't blame me. He's my last one, right?
But with me, he sort of thinks twice. You know what I mean? And I like that about us because that brings balance in him. You get what I'm saying? And we can't both be the same. We give him any and everything he likes, both of us. You know what I mean? And there's got to be a balance so that a child knows that there is a no. A child knows that you can't. A child knows that you're not gonna do that. And all of that. But that plays out so well when there's a two of us.
Yeah.
Playing that relationship. Playing that role in that relationship. How was your relationship with your dad?
Oh, it was quite a. I was actually thinking about it. My dad was never allowed. Okay, he's late. He was never allowed. He was not a loud person. Um, but obviously, one thing that we knew without a doubt, we always joke, or we used to joke at home to say, our dad never loved anybody else, never loved other kids, but his own kids. I'm not sure if there's such a thing, but that's how he was. Other kids, he will even ask when your friends are coming to play, when are they going? He was never an affectionate, like playing with children type of a dad. But we knew that he loved us. And unfortunately, yeah, you know his story. My dad was never a saint. Why is Puzela? He will be so quiet when he's sober. He will not say a word, actually.
Like most men.
I'm telling you, my sober, he will be so quiet. He will not even say anything. He loved to cook.
Oh, wow.
So my sober, you'll see, he's making chicken. I mean, he had his own special sort of things. He makes chicken. He would love to boil, mleqwa,
yes.
And that type of thing.
Ulamtut.
And because where I grew up, and by the way, my dad and my mom divorced when I was 10 years old. So all that I'm sharing was before I turned 10, because after I turned 10, after I turned 10 years old, when I turned 10 years, they separated. So I was not with him often, during my teen years. But definitely, growing up until I was age 10, he was that figure. And I knew he loved me. In fact, I think I was his favorite. Because he called me, that name, Sapinda, which is the name of one of our businesses. Because I was like, you know what, no one called me that name, it was only him, so might as well, use the name. But yeah, very strange relationship that we had, because most of the time he'll be a shayele, and yeah, but very quiet guy. You'll never see him talk loud or scream or, that type of thing. And yeah.
You know, when we met, okay, maybe let me put it back. Let me step back and say, my father left in 1978, and I was two, then, and left to Cape Town, and he's also late, and I've never had a relationship with him. I've only met him 3 times in my life. And the first time I met him, I was at first time I met him was in 1988. First time I met him, he came to pay damages and so on. So I had a little bit of sense, because when he would come, when he was coming, I was told to take a bath, and I was told to clean up.
And you never used to take a bath?
No. I mean, we don't care about what. I was told to take a bath, and I was cleaned up, and
there's a guest coming.
Yeah. Well, I was never told who is coming. You know what I'm saying? There's visitors. But my worry was, why am I the only one?
Oh, the others didn't take
The others are not taking. So it sort of raised curiosity. So, and I'm not going to stay on this point, but on that specific meeting, the glimpse I have of it, was I came in, I was called in, and then he saw me for the first time, and somehow instinctively I knew this
must be my father,
my man, right? Because where I grew up, it was a very homely environment and all of that, but there would always be that thing, when you are not really the son here, kind of thing, in my grandfather's house. And so I came in, and I immediately knew this.
At 2?
No.
Or you were, no, yes, it was 88, so you were older now.
Yeah. So, and then I left, I was told to move out, to go play out and so on. So they were talking. So I was curious as to what, I knew I was the subject. Okay. You know what I mean? But I was wondering what is being said and all of that. So here's the thing. I heard my mother, who was grown at that time, I heard her making noise, like screaming.
Oh, wow.
Inside.
Okay. Yeah.
That so-and-so, I won't tell you what they called me growing up.
I will tell you his other name one day.
Yeah. So-and-so is not going anywhere. And blah, blah, I could hear that. I can hear that today. That voice.
It still plays out.
Because the man came to pay damages and all of that, and the expectation was, I'm going to go at least for a visit, and whatever. And, my mother, who was not around herself, to raise me, refused that, I even go for a visit.
Sure.
Thingy there. So but that's a subject for another day.
Oh, wow.
The second time I met the man, I took the initiative.
Yes, was this time?
Was
I think
university.
Were you at high school or university?
No, I was at university. I was doing my first year.
When you went by yourself,
in 1995, 97, 96, right? So I went to university, and then I initiated. Because I had this time developed a relationship with my grandmother, which is his mother. Yeah. Right? And so they gave me his... I would visit there often, because now...
By the grandmother's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what a lovely lady. Maleta.
Yes.
Hey, Libed. Right? She would give me the numbers. And so I phoned at work. I will never forget the number.
At your dad's
at
workplace.
my yes,
Yeah.
at my dad's workplace. You know, 021-378-1212.
Is that a work number?
That's the work number.
Are you sharing it here in this platform?
Well, he's no longer alive, so
Okay.
he's no longer alive. So meaning he no longer works there anyway.
Okay.
Right?
Sorry, we just had a
Technical glitch.
technical glitch.
So I called, and then I one school holiday at university from P Technicon, took a bus, right, to go visit for a thing for a.
You shipped yourself.
Yes. So obviously school holidays. So
Yeah.
I just took a bag and whatever. That morning he came. He lived in Khayelitsha, Cape Town, and he came to fetch me
Yeah.
along with his children, who are my
He had remarried
yeah.
by that
Sorry,
time.
sorry about that. Yes, he had remarried, grown kids. Nondumiso, his eldest child, Nondumiso, is a girl. She passed on, passed away, and then there was Dumile and so on, right? So it was so strange meeting him.
Seeing him, eh?
It was so strange, so strange. And I lie when I say I met him 3 times. It was 2 times that I met him. That was the second time.
I know the third time it was at his funeral.
Yeah, no, I don't
You'll
count
get
that.
there, okay.
Right. So we had a nice time in the holiday and all of that. Even there, because there was no relationship, and all of that, I felt so out of place.
Sure.
Even there, I feel out of place where I grew up. I felt out of place there.
Even when you were
my
with
father.
him, because he had obviously his his other children.
Yes, he had his own life and so on.
How would you call him when you're there?
That's the thing. I didn't even know what to call him because he never said to me, I must say. You get what I'm saying? So I called him Tata just like all other kids here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, but there was never an instruction. Yeah, there was never an induction.
That is
right.
Yeah.
So, I was meant to spend Christmas,
Yeah.
but I decided I'm going back to PE before Christmas.
Sure.
Oh, he was so disappointed, eh?
Oh, so maybe he enjoyed having you around.
He did. My father, biological father, he never used to drink alcohol, but he used to smoke dacha, cannabis, right? That's all he did. He doesn't drink alcohol. That's all he does is to smoke cannabis.
Maybe he was high at the time.
So in 1996, that was the last time.
Yeah.
And then he would call me thereafter, often. And then I would take his calls for granted, right? I got married in 2005, right? And he would call me and we would talk, over the phone.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't bother going because with me, I had still have so much anger bottled up on the inside of me against him. Why didn't he take an initiative?
But I mean,
Why
he
didn't
tried.
well, now that I'm more grown up, I know that. You know what I mean? And so 2007, the man passes away.
Yeah.
Right? And the last phone call he made to me was, there is so much I would love to tell you.
Is that what he said? Okay. Shame. It means he was bothered as well.
Yeah, and this brings me to this point that I don't know what your relationship is with your father.
Yeah.
But I really want to appeal to you to give him a chance.
Yeah.
To give him a chance, let him tell his own story.
Sure.
He has a story. Trust me, he has a side. Don't let other people, more your mother or people from your mother's side, or anybody for that matter. Don't let anyone tell you your biological father's side of the story. Let him tell you your story.
Sure.
No person, I'm speaking as a man who is a father. not just to the 3 children that we have, but I came with a son to this relationship.
Yeah.
There is no person, there is no man, and I'm speaking as a man, who will impregnate a woman and just run away for no reason whatsoever. What you want, whether that reason is lame, whether that reason is strong, it doesn't matter. He at least owes you that reason. And then you then are able to formulate things and formulate positions on your own and by yourself. Don't let that be sponsored, by anybody. Give him a chance. If he ran away, and I'm talking about a man who is responsible, who wants to have a relationship with his children or child. I'm not talking about someone who is whatever. I'm talking about somebody, even if he's a drunkard, even if that person I don't care. That person has senses. That person, you deserve to know not only what happened.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest burdens that you carry as a child who has grown under those circumstances is, and that's a question that most children ask themselves without fathers.
Yeah.
We personalize it.
Why you left me? Why did you leave me?
Here's how we pose the question. What did I do so wrong that my father doesn't want anything to do with me?
Yeah. Sure. So it does not become about your mother anymore.
No, your mother is a saint.
It just becomes no. I'm saying from a child's perspective.
Yeah.
It's about rejection. It's about why.
It's about rejection.
Why was I rejected?
Listen, to have a husband that has abandonment issues, to have a husband that has rejection issues, to have a husband that whose self-esteem has been hit so low before he was even given a chance to grow up and make his own decision and make his own mistakes.
Sure.
That is a big tragedy. And that tragedy, he carries that with him, and he brings that to a marriage, marries a woman, and that woman often has to bear the brunt, of that rejection and of that fear of abandonment, and all of that. And it has ways, and we can talk about the psychology of it next time. But the issue here is, give your father a chance for your sake.
At least hear his side.
Hear his side of the story. Don't let his side be sponsored, by somebody. It can be your mother, and I know you love your mother and so on, and we all love our mothers, but by you searching for truth, it's for you, so that you are able to live your life, so that you are able to carry something into your relationship and your children, something that is a little bit more healthy, something that is a little bit more wholesome, because it's not just you that is owed that explanation. You owe your children that explanation, because this is their grandfather, as well. Joe, I just wanted to say that. Oh, when you mentioned your father in my mind, I had the thing, which what, a woman I'm going to marry will have a father.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have that
relationship,
and so on, and so when I met Pindi in 2003.
My father had passed.
Your father's passed away too.
No, we met in 2004.
Sorry, we met in 2000.
My dad had passed in 2003. 2003, sorry.
Yes, sorry, I got this twisted.
In November.
Yes.
Before I met you. In March. So basically, November, December, January, February.
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months.
I missed him just by 4 months.
Yeah.
I really wanted to meet that man.
Yeah, he was a handsome man.
Yeah.
He looked like me, by the way. Of my siblings, there's 4 of us. I'm the one that I've been told you look like your dad.
Yeah.
And I can clearly say my dad I was his favorite. Last born, his favorite.
A last born is always a favorite.
We had such and I also think my mother, I kind of reminded her of my dad, I suppose, before he drowned himself, in alcohol. That's a story for another day, but a good man, a man with so much potential, but he never exercised the potential that he had. So much potential. Um, I guess my regret is I wish I had a better relationship. Yes, I did have that one, but and also because I was younger, But I think my biggest regret is I wish it was, you know,
Tight.
I wish it was tight. I wish I played with him more. I wish I
Yeah.
had spent more time with him. So I guess I'm saying this to say, if you still have your dad
Alive. Oh
around
my goodness.
and alive,
My goodness.
you still have an opportunity to connect. You still
Yeah.
have an opportunity to. There are things that I look back now and I think, had my had I had my dad at a certain stage of my life, I think that
Yeah.
would have been so great. Go out and on a date with your dad. Even talk to him about dating. I never got that opportunity to talk to him about dating, about finding a man. What do
Yeah.
you think of this guy? I think it's such a great opportunity to have a dad when you are meeting someone that you want to spend your life with, and
Yeah.
you introduce them to your dad.
Yeah.
And just looking at how they also relate, I think that 4 months apart, I would have wanted to see
Yeah.
how he would have reacted when he met you. I know he would probably have loved you, but he would not say, because my dad was like that. He will not be vocal for no reason,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think, uh, yeah, I think Mom Tengel Ugwai cigarettes. Mom Tengel Ugwai, you would have been his favorite because, yeah.
Wow,
Bega
man.
shy, he used to drink and smoke, So I suppose if you were that son-in-law that comes with a 20,
Yeah, 20s.
20 Rothmans,
Yeah.
or I don't know what else is there,
Yeah.
you would have been the favorite. So
Wow.
we are just saying that, guys, to say
Yeah.
cultivate that relationship with your dads. It's having a father. And we just came to say this because I think the episode, yeah, Andiswa really took us back.
Yeah.
But having a father is such a privilege.
Yeah.
Not saying moms are not, but we're talking about fathers. Having a father is such a privilege. When you have one, please take that privilege and run with it. Ask your dad questions. And I think one of the things that we never did growing up, my mom is also late. There are questions that I wish I could have asked my mom, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, where did you meet my dad?
Yeah.
And what made you fall in love with him then?
Yeah.
There are those things that I wish I could have asked both my parents when they were still alive. And if your parents are still alive, your mom, your dad, ask them those life questions so that you get to understand even how they felt about whatever situations that they were going through. You'll be amazed.
You are actually challenging me as well because my mother is still alive.
Why inverted commas?
Well, the thing when I say
Oh,
my
because
mother,
you never
I've never related to
considered
her.
her as that.
I've
Yeah.
never, in fact, I never call her Usis.
I'm the one
you
who
know.
I'm the one who calls his mom. He
You know.
doesn't,
And
because
they have an age gap of 15 years.
they know. and now same thing. So I call his mom. He calls his mom Sisi, sister.
Yes. So because I grew up, I mean, there's never.
She was like a big
anyone.
sis.
Yeah, she's always been. So to ask her any parental questions, I've never done it. We've never related as such.
Maybe it's a challenge to even ask her why she refused that day.
That's what I'm saying. You are challenging me,
yeah.
by what you're saying, and
Because maybe she was bitter to you. You left me and married.
Let's find
someone
ways.
else.
Let's find a way. I guess that's the message here. Find a way, connect, reconnect. Even if you feel like your dad was unfair at some point, in your life, listen to me. There is no relationship, and I'm saying this as a father now, to my children. Even my eldest, that I say I came with, he's 26 now. He's based overseas, and he is, we always connect,
Yeah. And we
with
miss him.
We always connect, and we talk about literally everything. The issue is, I am learning how important I am to them, because one of the things that, for me, young Bosala Cool,
Yeah.
that was predominant, in my mind was, I don't want to be what my father was to me. I don't want to be that to them, to my children. And even though that has been a wrong premise, for me, because how I relate to my father, to my children, should be how I choose to relate to my children, independent of my father. But I'm just saying the influence that my father would have had in my life, it would have certainly had offshoots in terms of how I raise my children. Please reconnect with your father. Give him a chance. Ask him questions. It doesn't matter how stupid the answers may be, or how you feel, the answers would be stupid. It doesn't matter. Just get perspective, so that you, in terms of your own mental health, you are able to connect dots,
Yeah.
and form your own life, and develop a way of relating, not just to your father, but also develop a healthy way of relating to your mother. There are children, and when I say children, I'm talking about as old as us, who are relating to their fathers the way their mother taught them, or their mother told them to relate to their father.
Children who are as old as us.
Yes.
I like that.
I'm a child. So I'm saying yeah, it sounds bad. Not sounds bad, it sounds wrong, eh?
What?
I'm a child.
Yes, you are
you know,
somebody's child.
I'm somebody's child, everybody. At 49,
Yes.
So the issue is, develop a relationship with your father, give him a chance.
Yeah.
And I really believe that now, with the benefit of hindsight, and we'll talk some other time. I didn't want to talk about the third meeting at the funeral, but that's a whole story. Don't go
Let's
there.
okay. We'll do another
We'll do
video.
another, yeah.
After this
About
one,
yeah.
about the third
Don't,
visit.
yeah. So I wish, with the benefit of hindsight, I wish that I, really asked the man and gave him a chance. When he would volunteer himself and say, I have so much. I will never forget those words. He says, I have so much. Wathi kuninzi endifuna ukuthetha nawe ngakho.
And you missed that opportunity, eh?
Missed it.
Imagine.
Because I had a view of him, which was sponsored. Yes.
Yeah.
A wrong view of him. It was sponsored. It was not my view.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And don't fall into that trap.
I wonder what he wanted to say. Oof.
Don't make me go there, because it'll
I'm
make
just,
me go crazy.
No. The reason I'm saying that, it's because there's so many people who die with so many things that they wanted to say to other people, but they never get a chance to.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking about. Maybe he wanted to tell you that, listen,
this and that.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so
much.
much.
All right. Thank you so much. We hope that this, helped in one or other way.
This was our conversation, by the way.
Yeah.
And we decided to take it here because we're like, actually,
we were talking about this. Yeah.
Let's rather take it here instead of just talking about it. But
so welcome to our conversation. As
promised, we're gonna close after this with a video of how he met his dad met or did not meet, or met his dad for the third time. Love you guys.
Close.